Hello everyone, you're welcome to my YouTube channel. If you're visiting for the first time, this is Thought Central with Uche. This is where I talk about life-related issues which are designed to inspire a positive change by changing the narrative from my later corner. And in case you're not subscribed to my YouTube channel, please, I would appreciate you subscribe to my YouTube channel so that you get notification when I post new videos. Okay, so today today is going to be a bit hot. Okay, now hot in the sense that I'm going to answer the question I know some of you have in mind, which I feel that maybe you have not so much of courage to ask me, or you're planning to ask me. So the question: why am I still single? Yes, why is Uche still single, even though she talks about marriage and relationship a lot in her post and in her videos? Yes, I know that a lot of you, have this question in mind, and some of you are planning to, well, some people have asked me this question, but I thought I should just say it, and you know why I do what I do and everything. Okay, so first of all, why am I still single? Uchenna, why are you still single? Uchenna Akomas, Uchenna Jessica Akomas, why are you still single? Okay, so I'm still single because he hasn't found me. I have not found the one. No, he is the one that will find me, right? The Bible says he that finds a wife finds a good thing. So he has not found me yet. I'm still waiting for him to find me. That's number one. And number two is marriage. Marriage is a serious thing for me, really. And it's not something that I want to rush into like that. I'm 34, by God's grace, going on 35. And the much or the little I've come to understand about marriage, I don't want to go in and get out. Okay, so it's a serious thing for me because marriage is one thing, one institution in the human should I say history, that demonstrates God's love for mankind. Yes, marriage is the only institution that demonstrates God's love for mankind. And you know what the Bible says in Ephesians chapter 5. I'm a Christian, okay, so I may just be dropping your scriptures here and there. So Ephesians chapter 5 from I think verse 22 or 23, where the Bible says, I'll paraphrase, wives, submit to your husbands. Husbands, love your wives as Christ loved the church and gave laid his life for the church, and the church is the bride of Christ. So the church here is not a building we go to worship. The church here is children of God, believers. So we are the bride of Christ, and Christ is our husband. So when narrowing it to marriage, it means that it is God's way of demonstrating his love for mankind because we are the bride of Christ. So, and it's also important that we understand what marriage is, because what I find is that some people get into marriage with the wrong perception of marriage, or they don't even know the purpose for marriage. But I'm going to do justice to all of this in this video, so please follow me closely. Okay, so talking about why I'm still single is because marriage is very serious, is very important to me. It's something that I cannot fail at, okay? And reason I'm taking my time, okay? So the reason I talk about marriage a lot, so that people will have an understanding of what it is, so that when they go in, they know what they're going there to do. So marriage is a lifelong covenant relationship between a man and a woman, between a male man and a female woman, between Adam and Eve, between Harrison and Elizabeth, not between Adam and Henry. Marriage is a lifelong covenant relationship between a male man. I know why I'm emphasizing on this. A male man, between a male man and a female woman. Okay, so designed to fulfill the purpose of God on earth. And what is the purpose of God on earth? Is that God's kingdom will be established on earth. Remember what the Bible says in the Lord's Prayer, thy kingdom come, your will be done on earth. So what is the purpose of marriage? The purpose of marriage, two. One is companionship, the need for companionship, because God said in I don't know why I call Exodus, in Genesis chapter 2 verse 18, right, where he said it's not good for a man to be alone, I will make him a helper which is comparable to him. Please pay attention to this particular thing I'm saying. So God said it is not good for a man to be alone. He will make a helper that is comparable to him, comparable to man, to Adam, who was the first man that God created, that God made. And that means, before God said that, he had already created the animals, the birds of the air, the fish, the sea and everything. So there were animals in the Garden of Eden, which God actually gave Adam the liberty to name. And every name he gave to each animal is what they bear till today. So the lion, the elephant, the dogs and everything, they were all there. But even the cat, all of them were there, but they could not meet that need of companionship in Adam's life, because they were not comparable to him. They were not of Adam's kind. Okay, and that's where bestiality was ruled out as not being God's order. So God needed to bring Adam's kind to meet the need of companionship in Adam's life, and that was why God had to make Adam to fall into a deep sleep, and he performed the surgery. Yes, I call it surgery. I mean, God opening his rib, his side, and bringing out one of his ribs to make a woman. And Adam woke up from his sleep and said, behold, this is the bone of my bones, the flesh of my flesh. She shall be called woman. He called her woman because she was taken out of man. Now, that is one purpose for getting married, for companionship. Sex, children are only benefits of marriage. I repeat, sex and children are benefits of marriage. They are not the reason we get married. Okay, so for our parents, some of our parents that emphasize on us getting married to give them grandkids, please, mommies and daddies, papas and mamas, children having kids or giving you grandkids is not the only reason your children should get married. It's not the reason we should get married, but to make the need of companionship in a man's life, or women to, or men to meet the need of companionship in women's lives. Okay, two purposes of marriage. One is for, the need of companionship, and secondly, that the will of God will be fulfilled on earth, that the purpose of God will be fulfilled on earth, and that is God's kingdom establishing on earth, being established on earth. It means that if a man and a woman get married, they have to replicate God's kingdom. And how do they replicate God's kingdom? By following his word, by following his principles, which are already, have been made available to us. So that is why it's important that we understand this. I have come to this understanding, and that is why I talk about marriage. It's as if I'm making so much noise, and some people are saying, okay, maybe Uche is really desperate to get married. It is not out of desperation. I do not share what I share about marriage and relationship, but basically marriage, because I'm desperate, because I want to get married. I have come to this understanding that God did not create us individuals. God did not create us human beings for us to be born by our parents. Our parents raise up, we become adults, we get married, have kids, die and return to him. No, marriage is a fraction of life, is a little part of life, is not life itself. There is more to life. Marriage is not the be all and the end all of life. God did not create anybody to be born, grow, become an adult, get married and have kids, die and return to him. No. There are other aspects of our lives that God needs us to fulfill. And for some reasons, some people may not get married. Yes, it's not a bad prayer, but some people, if the will of God does not entail marriage, if the will of God for your life does not entail marriage, sister, brother, you may not get married till you die. And if that is the case, God will talk to you, personally. He will make it known to you that you're not going to get married. Okay, but that is not where I'm going into today. All right, so this is the reason I talk about marriage a lot, because I see people go into marriage, they don't even know what they're going there to do. I see people go into marriage with a wrong perception. I belong to different groups, for single people and all of that, and I see what people share their experiences, their mindset about marriage, and it tells me that a lot of people do not even understand what they are doing when they say want to get married. They don't even know what they're going there to do. It's not just to have sex, it's not just to have all the good times and all. There is something. You're going there to serve each other. Okay, so that is it. So marriage is a serious business for me, it's a serious thing for me, and it's also important that whoever I'm going to get married to have this understanding, because if the two people, the Bible says, can two work together except they agree. Okay, so if my husband to be does not have this understanding and we go into marriage, it's going to end up in a disaster, because we have different perception about it. So he'll be pursuing what he was pursuing based on his understanding, based on his perception about marriage, and I'll be pursuing what I'm pursuing based on my understanding, and we cannot meet. We'll be like two parallel lines that can never meet. Okay, so that is it. It's important that even intending couples, singles, I encourage you to talk about this with your boyfriends, talk about this with your fiancés, with your fiancés, talk about these things. Let them know that you're on the same page. Understand, let it be that you both understand what you're going in there to do as married couples. All right, so that's basically two reasons I'm not yet married. The one has not shown up. He is somewhere. He's still trying to find his way to me. And secondly, marriage is a serious business for me, and it's not something I want to go in and mess up. No, God will not allow us fail him. God will not allow me fail him. I will not fail in my marriage. And for singles, I pray that we will have beautiful, thriving marriages that will be heaven on earth, to the praise and glory of God. All right, so I guess I've said quite enough. Now you can leave me alone, right? Now you know why I'm still single. Now you know why my understanding about marriage, I'm not desperate to get married. In fact, I've come to that resolve that if I don't get married and Christ returns, if I don't get married and I die, it doesn't mean that I'm not qualified to be, to enjoy it. Marriage is a blessing. It will happen when it will happen in everybody's life. So when it happens, we thank God for you. And so please, let's not just put ourselves under unnecessary pressure. It's not healthy at all. All right, I hope we're able to pick a thing or two from this video, and I love to read your comments. Please, I love to read your comments. Ask me all the questions you want to ask me for this particular episode. I will answer all the questions. Ask me every question you want to ask. Okay, all right, so thank you so much for subscribing to my YouTube channel. Thank you for watching my videos. I know you enjoy them. If there is anything you want to see, if there's anything you would like me to talk about, please you can slide into my DM and tell me, or you can just leave your comments down below. All right, thank you so much. Have a beautiful day. As I see you in the next video, my name is Uche Akoman's, and this is Thought Central with Uche. Bye for now.